Lead off the top of the third for the Highlanders,
Eyeballs
the second
on.
baseman, number 12,
okay, now what?
Johan Fernandez.
Oh, do you think that fixed it? All right, I think we got this figured out. Had a little bit of an audio issue there. This is the first preseason or first game for us here, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies to you. We're top of third. We're scoreless, and we just flipped the lineup over for the Highlanders as Brody Thomas just flied out to shallow right. And that's going to bring up Cash McWhorter swinging a hot bat. Oh, I'm sorry, Johan Fernandez led off with a double to get things started here for the Highlanders in the top of the third. My scorebook's a mess, so hang in there with me. We'll get this going. I promise the quality will improve. So Johan Fernandez at second with a double. Counts 2-0 on Cash McWhorter. As the home plate umpire called time and said something to Coach McDowell. Coach McDowell headed over towards the dugout. I'm assuming that's probably because of some chatter. The 2-0 on McWhorter. Kid's got a lot of pop. Put a fastball there, and he made a swing at it. Comes up empty. Runs count to 2-1. McWhorter led the game off with a double to shallow left that was misjudged by the left fielder Thomas and shortstop Segura. Got between the two of them. He stands in with a 2-1 count and a move to second, and Fernandez is back with no problem. That's swung on and lifted to the left side and out of play. That's going to even the count at 2-2 on McWhorter. The 2-2. Curveball and spoils it, does McWhorter. Keeps the count at 2-2 with no outs. Runner at second, Johan Fernandez. No outs, top of three here at Grand Oaks High School for this district opener here in 13-6A. Here's the pitch. A changeup that misses off the plate. Runs the count to 3-2 on McWhorter. The 3-2 swung on and fouled off the hands of McWhorter straight back into the net. That's going to keep it at 3-2. We're going to do it all again. Scoreless ball game. Beautiful day here in sunny South Texas. 68, 70 degrees. Nice little breeze. Wind's blowing out here. Great day for baseball. The 3-2. And that is lifted to center, and the wind's got it, pushes Tally all the way back to the warning track, and that's going to allow Fernandez to move on up to third. And a long pop fly for out number 1 off the bat of Cash McWhorter. Infield's drawn in here early in the game. 1 out, runner at third. Here's the pitch, and that's up the middle for a single and an RBI for Jack Schmeckel. So an RBI single, and the Highlanders strike first in this 13-6A district opener, taking a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. Brings up Cash Clayton, pitcher for the Highlanders, and a check on Schmeckel at first. Clayton, only a junior, 3-year starter on varsity, was brought up as a freshman, and he takes a changeup down in the dirt for ball. Well, he calls it a strike. Looked a little low. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. Schmeckel with a lead at first. Calhoun set the pitch, and that's back up the middle, just out of the reach of a diving Segura. That's going to let Schmeckel go station to station. He's at second now.
Batting the first baseman,
and a 1-out single for Cash Clayton, and we'll have a courtesy runner. It's going to be Noah Nightstep. Is pinch running or courtesy running for the pitcher Cash Clayton after the single. So 2 on, 1 out here, top of the third. Highlanders have struck first. Off the single by Jack Schmeckel up the middle, brought in Johan Fernandez for the first run of the game. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Cruz Romo, another junior. A lot of starters coming back from last year's squad that went 16-0 in this district. District champs went on into the playoffs and ran into what I would call Blaine Bullard. And that misses outside for ball 1. So Romo. Klein Kane was one of those teams that was just on a run, and they had an elite player, probably one of the best in the state. The 1-0 misses just outside for ball 2. As Bullard was not drafted where he was, but negotiated the terms with the Blue Jays, got the deal he wanted, and he signed. And he was absolutely on fire in that series with the Highlanders and ended their playoff run. And they ended up losing to the eventual state champs, Waco Midway, and as that's fouled off the screen. Takes the count to 2-1 on Cruz Romo. 1 out here, top of the third. Highlanders threatening with runners at first and second. Cleanup hitter Cruz Romo at the plate with 1 out. Schmeckel at second. Noah Nightstep, the courtesy runner, at first. Swung on and fouled into the dirt. Runs the count to 2-2 on Cruz Romo. Curveball misses way outside and high. Takes the count full. Let's see if Coach Eastman is going to put the runners in motion here with 1 out. Maybe try to make something happen. Romo very capable of putting one out into the gap. Would definitely score 2 runs if Nightstep's getting a head start. Here's the look, the pitch, runners stay, and foul down the first base line. And we're going to keep it at 3-2. like I had mentioned, a lot of returners off this team. And I would argue with a lot of people that this outfield that the Highlanders have is probably the best in the state. The 3-2 again, swung on and fouled again. A great at bat here, and that's into the stands as Romo's battling. Keeps it at 3-2 with 1 out. Highlanders scored 1 here in the top of the third and have a 1-0 lead. So as we've battled through some of the technical issues we were having to get started here, if it wasn't the video, it was the audio, and then I had a little something personal I had to take care of. So apologies for getting this up and on to you late. And that's a well-deserved walk by Romo. He battled that one, and he wins that battle. And that's going to load the bases for the Highlanders and bring up the senior, the catcher, Chase Bradley. He's heading to Angelina College next season, or this fall, I should say. Again, another 3-year starter. Lots of experience on this squad, and that is a weak ground ball right at the third baseman. Takes it to home just in time. And a hard slide by Schmeckel when the catcher was on the plate. And that's going to bring Coach Farrell out to try to argue for the double play. Or actually a little bit of strategy. He's coming out to check on his catcher to give the umpires a little bit of time to think about it. And the home plate umpire is heading down to have a conversation with Coach Eastman. And this is probably just a, hey, you can kind of tell by the body language here. He came in a little hard, popped that cleat up. You know, have a little chat with him. That happens again, I'm going to have to either toss him, give him a warning. And that's going to get 2 outs here in the inning. We'll have a courtesy runner for Bradley. He reaches on the fielder's choice as Schmeckel was out at the plate. 5-2 for the second out of the inning. Bases still loaded with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses inside for ball 1. It's David Jurisic for the Highlanders. The pitch. Fastball as he was looking to park that one out on the parkway. Big swing. That's going to run it to 1-1 on Jurisic. 2 outs, bases loaded. Highlanders have a 1-0 lead. K. Calhoun, the pitch. Another big swing by Jurisic. Chases the high fastball, runs the count to 1-2. The pitch. Goes a little bit higher, see if he can get him to chase. He lays off that one. I think that one was about a foot above his head. And that's going to run it to 2-2. On the designated hitter for the Highlanders, David Jurisic. Calhoun gets his sign. And curveball gets him to chase. And the Highlanders, with a couple of hits, put a run on the board. They lead 1-0. You're listening to Highlander Baseball, courtesy of the Highlander Sports Network. Back after this. And Sebastian Segura leading things off for the Grizzlies. That's swung on, lifted out the left towards McWhorter. He has eyes on it, reaches up, makes the catch just before the track for out number 1. Gotta like that at bat for your Cash Clayton. 1 pitch, 1 out. Keep that pitch count down as he moves into his 3rd inning of work, allowing 1 hit, no runs. And that flips the order over to Colton Talley, the center fielder, leading things off. He takes a fastball high and outside for ball 1. Curveball tapper back to Clayton. Steps, fields, positions, and makes the throw. That's out number 2.
Colton Talley.
Sorry, that was Brody Thomas on the ground ball. And the leadoff hitter, Colton Talley, shows bunt, takes a ball on the curveball from Clayton. And that misses the outside corner for ball 2. Two outs in the inning. The pitch is a fastball, misses high and inside for ball 3. Runs count to 3-0 on Talley. A center cut fastball right there for a called strike. And those of you that have listened to me for years, I will argue with you. That's probably the best pitch he's going to see in the at-bat. And a fastball swung on. That's lifted into shallow left. Schmeckel retreats, makes the catch for out number 3. And that's the end of the 3rd. Highlanders lead 1-0. You're watching the Highlanders on the Highlanders Sports Network. And welcome back to the district opener, 13-6A, Grand Oaks Grizzlies and your Woodlands Highlanders. There's 9 teams in 13-6A district, and the way that works out with the 16 games, it's difficult to get games in after the tournament season besides playing on a Saturday. Bryson Borden leading things off. That's on the ground to the shortstop, Segura, and makes the throw for out number 1. Here in the 4th inning, it's going to bring up Elias Diaz for the Highlanders. Curveball in there for a called strike. Beautiful pitch from Calhoun. Fastball just misses off the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. Great sequencing right there from Calhoun after the curveball to put the fastball right there. And the 1-1. And that's lifted into shallow center. Segura is treating. Talley's charging. Segura takes the play, makes the catch.
Second baseman number 12, Johan Fernandez.
And that is out number 2. Here in the top of the 4th with the Highlanders leading this contest 1-0. District opener. As I was saying, the way this works, the coaches agreed after, I guess, 2 years ago to not want to play on Saturdays anymore. And then they wanted to squeak in the middle of district. A lot of other districts do this when they have a 7 or 8 team. They squeeze in a non-conference game in a bye week. And so the Highlanders will be playing Magnolia West. We played them last year at our place. This year we're playing them at their place towards the end of March. Johan Fernandez in the box. Curveball in there for a called strike. Calhoun definitely has the curveball working tonight. Getting a lot of called strikes. Fastball misses high and outside. That's ball 1, evens it at 1-1. So these teams they squeeze in these games in between the tournaments here. Last weekend was the opener, and it gets around that curveball. Leaves it outside for ball 2. And so every team in 13-6A has opened up district tonight. The pitch 2-1 at the knees for a called strike 2 to run into 2-2 with 2 outs. As we're here in the top of the 4th. Fastball, I take that back. That was a changeup. Just lost the grip on that. Faded on him too far outside. Beautiful pitch, though, if he could get it over the plate. Takes it to 3-2 with 2 outs. The payoff pitch on the ground, right back to the pitcher, Calhoun. He flips it to first to Francia, and they are out of the inning. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, Highlanders lead 1-0. You're watching Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And we're heading on into the bottom of the 4th. Highlanders leading 1-0. Cash Clayton comes out for the 4th. No action down in the bullpen, so we'll see how far, it's early in the season, how far these guys will let the arms go here in this first game. Hector Francia leading things off, the first baseman for the Grizzlies. As I was saying, to kind of give you a rundown, 13-6A, they squeeze these games in this first round of district in between round 2 and round 3 of the playoff series or tournament series, and a big 12-6 curveball from Cash Clayton. Little Adam Wainwright-esque on that pitch for called strike 1. And he comes back and with the same pitch, got a little bit on it, on top of it, and catches Francia in the foot. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. And the Grizzlies have their first base runner here in the 4th. At the plate, Colin Martin, the designated hitter for the Grizzlies. That misses for ball 1. Beautiful curveball from Clayton. Drops it in there for a called strike. Evens it up at 1-1. That's lifted out towards right. Bryson Bourne gets a good jump on it. Right in front of the wall. Makes the catch against the wall. Nice play. Looking like the old man out there. And if you, obviously, you missed my opening when I was going through lineups. That's Bryson Bourne, the son of former Astros outfielder Michael Bourne. That's out number 1. As he made that look pretty easy. Brings up the third baseman, Andrew Clayton. And that's lifted down the right field line and out of play. First strike 1. Curveball tapped foul down the third baseline. Did a great job just to even get a piece of that. As Clayton flashing a nice big 12-6 curveball. Coming up out of that high 3/4 slot. Jerked that fastball a little bit. Misses the outside corner for ball 1. Takes a count to 1-2 on third baseman Clayton. Try to get him a chase, a fastball a little high. He lays off of it. Evens it up at 2-2. But I was mentioning these teams are squeezing these games in between the tournament rounds. Another big, beautiful breaking curveball right there from Clayton. So they squeeze these games in to avoid playing on the weekends throughout the season. And so the openers here tonight at Grand Oaks, that misses outside to run the count to 3-2. And then these two teams will square off again next Tuesday. We'll have that for you live on the Highlander Sports Network. The 3-2 swung and missed over the top of the curveball. And a strikeout for Cash Clayton.
Number 9, Owen Eastwood.
And that's going to bring up the catcher, Owen Eastwood, for the Grizzlies, with 2 outs and a runner at first. The Highlanders are heading up to the 5-Tool Festival. They'll leave Thursday morning. Charter bus it up to DFW. Probably the biggest tournament in the country. And that fastball is right there on the corner. He dots it at the knees for strike 1 to Owen Eastwood. 2 outs, runner at first. Highlanders lead 1-0. Swung on, lifted to right center. Bourne giving chase. Fuller giving chase. Fuller makes the catch. And that is going to be the third out as we head to the top of the 5th. Highlanders lead 1-0. You're watching Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And we're heading into the top of the fifth for the Highlanders is going to be McWhorter, Schmeckel, and Clayton, 1, 2, and 3, top of the order. See if they can put something together, kind of blow this thing open here in the fifth. This is the spot to do it if they're going to do it. But the Highlanders, as I was mentioning before the inning ended, they're heading up to DFW to play in the Five-Tool Festival, one of the most prestigious tournaments in the country. The Grizzlies are co-hosting with Conroe the Farrell Classic, and that is named after the father of the head coach for the Grizzlies, Lou Farrell, in his honor. And then we'll meet back these two teams on Tuesday night at Scotland Yard in the Woodlands. And then one more tournament round, and then we're off to spring break, and we'll pick up there with pretty much your regular Tuesday, Friday calls. So a few other things that are happening. Houston Sports Live, our new network, Highlander Sports Network, is now part of Houston Sports Live. And Houston Sports Live has signed Conroe, College Park, Willis, Grand Oaks, and we have the Highlanders on our lineup of viewership. So you'll be able to start catching those games fairly consistently here in the next couple of weeks with district play. McWhorter leading things off, and that is fastball swung and fouled straight back into the net for strike one. As a matter of fact, Houston Sports Live, we are kicking off. That's a curveball, misses in the dirt for ball one. A concept that no one else has done in the area. The 1-1 swung on the ground at the first baseman, Francia. He takes it himself, steps on the bag for out number one as McWhorter is retired. We are kicking off our inaugural Houston Live Game Day show. That will be Friday night at 6:30. Or actually, I take that back. We're debuting at 5:30. And a curveball is in there for a called strike to Schmeckel. And the curveball misses, run to 1-1. But I was saying, our concept show, the inaugural show, will kick off 5:30 live on Houston Sports Live. We will be discussing the games of the week, the tournaments that are happening, and Willis is hosting the Lake Conroe Classic, the 2-1. That is lifted out into shallow right center as the right fielder, Wilson Charges, makes the play. And Schmeckel retired for out number two. Brings up Cash Clayton. They're hosting the Lake Conroe Classic this weekend, and that's going to be, they're co-hosting with Montgomery, Lake Creek High School, and Willis. We'll be there. We'll have all the action for Willis. We're covering their games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And that is swung on and lifted high in the infield as the second baseman Sanchez settles under and makes the catch for the third out of the inning.
All right, baseball fans, time to get on your feet for the fifth inning stretch.
And I'm just going to hang out with you here. Try to blur out the background music, kind of let you know what's happening here. As I'll be calling the Willis games on Thursday and Friday for Coach Washburn. Those are 11 o'clock starts. We'll have that coverage for you live. We'll kick that off around 10:45 in the morning on Thursday and Friday. Then they play again at 6:30 that night and 6:30 on Friday. And at 5:30, we've lined up a couple of special guests for you to kick off our inaugural show. So you're not going to want to miss that. Now, that's going to be over on our other channel, Houston Sports Live on YouTube. And again, the thing is, everything we do, ladies and gentlemen, is free. No cost, no charge, free high school baseball for you this spring, all courtesy of Houston Sports Live. we're going to have our inaugural show kickoff. That kicks off at 5:30. So we'll be talking all the baseball you could imagine for about an hour. We're going to turn it around and kick off that game at 6:30 on Friday night with Willis versus Waller. And then the one you're not going to want to miss is a Saturday game. It's an early game, but it's Willis versus Tomball. So that's going to be a great early season matchup between two potential playoff teams, and actually two teams that could probably meet in the playoffs in the second or third round. So you're not going to want to miss that. We have Conroe High School this season is on our network. College Park's on our network. Grand Oaks is on our network. And again, everything is free. We encourage you to tune in and watch as much high school baseball as you can. You can also hit us on social media, Houston Sports Live, Facebook, Twitter, or X, I should say now. And you'll find everything you need right there as we move into the bottom of the fifth here for the Grizzlies. And Colin Wilson, the right fielder, leading things off as he takes the first pitch for a called strike. Another great 12-6 curveball from Cash Clayton. Gets it in there for a called strike 2. Counts it. And that skips that one in the dirt. Runs it to 2-1. Clayton working from the stretch and fouled off the ankle. And that's going to be strike 2 on Wilson. So as I was saying, we'll have a lot of coverage for you here in 13-6A, plus the playoffs as we head into this spring season with a full head of steam. And you'll find next week's game, a week from tonight, that'll be on the Highlander Sports Network between these two teams. And that is fouled down the right field side towards the Highlander dugout. And that's going to keep it at 2-2 with no outs. Highlanders leading 1-0 here. We're already in the fifth. We haven't quite hit that daylight savings time yet. So it's why we had the early start here at 4:30. And that catches him in the back foot as he tried to back foot the slider, and he overcooked it a little too much. That's his second hit by pitch. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Braden Sanchez, for the Grizzlies with a runner at first and no outs. So a lot of exciting things happening this season, and that's on our network, and that's not to count. I ain't even got to what the Highlanders have cooking this season. And the bunt is down. Clayton charges, flips to first, and a fantastic bunt by Sanchez right down the first base line. Clayton had to come get it, and the flip was not in time as Sanchez beat it out. And the sacrifice turns into 2 runners on now on the bunt single by Sanchez, and no outs. As Coach Eastman comes up out of the dugout, has some instructions for the team. I'm assuming this is going to be a bunt call. Runners at first and second with no out. He wants to make sure everyone knows where they're going and what they're doing. As Bradley headed out to have a conversation with Clayton. And everyone is set. Typically, this is where you want to try to get the bunt down the third base line. And doesn't show bunt, surprisingly. And the fastball misses in the dirt for ball 1. Now he shows bunt, and that one catches the turf on the cut and got a little side spin on it and rolls foul. Evens the count at 1-1. No outs. Grizzlies threatening with runners at first and second. here in the 5th inning. Showing bunt early and a pickoff move to second. Runners back in time. Early in the season, this is a situation that could really hurt you. Shows bunt. Romo really charging. Up really, really close. Easily gets it, fields it, throws to first. Fernandez covering. And the sacrifice moves the runners up.
Grizzlies number 0, Brody Freitas. Freitas hitting for the Grizzlies.
So 3-2 on the putout. And we're going to have a pinch hitter, Freitas for the Grizzlies is going to hit for Brody Thomas, the left fielder. I'm assuming this is probably going to be a pinch hit and re-enter the game. As early in the season, not quite familiar yet with the defensive capabilities of every player on every squad. So the Highlanders bring the infield in with 1 out. And curveball misses in the dirt. Great job by Bradley to keep it in front of him. And ball 1. That's the pitch that you want to make in that situation. Get him on a curveball, something he's going to roll over. This is me. I'm calling a fastball on the hands. See if I can get it off the hands. Weak contact. And there's the fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. Evens it at 1-1. 1 out in the inning. Highlanders leading 1-0. Clinging onto that 1-0 lead. And, just foul down the first baseline. Takes the count to 1-2 on Freitas with 1 out. Strikeout's big here if you can get it. What you don't want to do is bounce a ball to the backstop. And right back up the middle off the glove of Clayton. That's going to get at least 1. They're going to send the second one. And that ball is held by Fernandez. And that's a heads-up play by Fernandez. I know a lot of people probably watching and going, why didn't he throw it? Well, as soon as he throws it, the runner from first is going to advance to second. So a heads-up play by Fernandez. You keep the runner at first, keep the double play and situation alive. And you're only down 1 run as another bunt. Fielded by Diaz, the throw in time. That happened really fast.
Now batting the first baseman, number 16, Hector Francia Linares.
So the single plates 2 runs for, and heads up base run and coaching by Farrell to get that runner from second to come around and score as they take a 2-0 lead. Or 2-1 lead, I'm sorry. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Cash Clayton. Now there's some action in the Highlander bullpen. Gets a little on top of that curveball. Runs the count to 2-0. 2 outs in the inning, runner at second. That ball is lifted towards left. Clayton and Diaz giving chase. Clayton with the sliding catch on the left field line. Nice defensive play by Cash McWhorter out there. I think I said Clayton. We got a lot of Cashes on this team. So Cash McWhorter makes the play for the 3rd out. But The Grizzlies push 2 across and take a 2-1 lead here as we head to the 6th inning. We move to the top of the 6th here at Grand Oaks as Cruz Romo leading things off for the Highlanders, and he rips one out into left center or right center gap. That is trouble off the wall on a hop. He's on his way to second with a leadoff stand-up double for Cruz Romo.
Now batting the catcher, number 3, Chase Bradley.
It's going to bring up the catcher, Chase Bradley, for the Highlanders. He walked back in the 3rd. As time was called, a little conversation between battery mates there, the catcher and the pitcher, as we got a little bit of action in both bullpens. So Chase Bradley at the plate. Shows bunt. Oh, and that gets to the backstop, just as good as a bunt. And you keep the bat alive for Bradley. Your 5-hole hitter can now swing it away and drive a run in for you. So Romo moves up to 3rd on the wild pitch with no outs, as Coach Farrell has called time, and it looks like he's going to go to the bullpen, and Calhoun, his day seems to be over. I think I saw Coach Farrell tap the arm, so either he's trying to bide more time. He's got a couple arms down there in the bullpen. It's hard to see. They have everything kind of covered with tarps. Highlanders have some action in their bullpen. He's going to stay in. And high and tight, a little chin music there for Chase. Takes the count to 2-0 on Bradley. No outs. Tying run at 3rd for the Highlanders. They got a couple of chances to get this run across. The pitch misses high again, 3-0. Again, this is a spot 3-0, you're going to get that obligatory center cut fastball. The pitch. He puts a fastball right there just on the inner 3rd for a called strike. Runs it to 3-1 on Bradley. The pitch. Misses high with the fastball. A 5-pitch walk for Chase Bradley. He's on base. We'll have a courtesy runner for him. And now I'm willing to bet Coach Farrell is going to go to the bullpen. We'll have a courtesy runner for Bradley. It's going to be Benjamin Gordley. He comes in to run for Bradley. And we'll be right back after this.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? txhsbsb Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have two separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
So this pitching change brought to you by txhsbsb Dentistry, one of our longtime sponsors, and we're grateful for their support through the years. This is year number 4 with them. Your hometown Woodlands dentist. They are pediatric and adult dentistry practice, I should say. Dr. Jessica on the pediatric side and Dr. John on the adult side. Head on over, check them out, tell them I sent you in there. They'll get you squared away, whether it's your cleanings twice a year or any other dental needs that you may have taken care of for you. So David Jurisic at the plate for the Highlanders, as again, I had issues with his brother's name, as it's Dozel, I believe. Dozal. I'm sure Jordan, if he's listening, is going to pop me a text here and tell me I'm wrong. But the lefty on the mound, and that is hammered out to the gap. Opposite field double. That's going to be 2 for Jurisic. One's going to score easy. Here comes the second. He's being sent home. The courtesy runner to the plate, in time, and then down to third. So it's going to be a double for Jurisic. He's going to advance on the cutoff. And he picks up 2 RBIs, and the Highlanders strike right back and take a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 6th. Bryson Bourne at the plate with no outs and a runner at third, as he takes a curveball in the dirt, almost hits him in the foot. So 1-0 is the count on Bourne. And misses inside with the fastball, and it's going to run into 2-0. Top of the 6th, no outs. Highlanders just reclaim the lead, 3-2. Fastball catches the outside corner. Runs the count to 2-1 on Bourne. And swings and chops it into the dirt at the plate. And it's going to even it up at 2-2 on the youngster Bryson Bourne, junior. He was on varsity last season as a sophomore. A lot of these kiddos were returning a good chunk of the team that went 16-0 last year. But they did lose a couple of key arms from last year's rotation. And that swung on and fouled back into the net. Keeps it at 2-2. Eric Daigle graduated. Caleb Holofield graduated. Holofield at Galveston, from what I've heard, had a really good fall. Eric Daigle was heading off to Wharton. Haven't heard much on how he's doing. Always enjoy staying in touch with these former players and how they move on. Some of them go on to go to school and get a degree and become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, and some of them go on and play ball in college, and some of them go on to play a little bit further than that. So the Highlanders have a track record, and that is swung on and lifted to shallow right. Wilson giving chase. Talley calls him off. He makes the call. We're going to have a play at the plate as Jurassic tags, and throw comes in. No play at the plate, and the Highlanders take a 4-2 lead on the sac fly. RBI for Bryson Bourne. Brings up Elias Diaz, the senior third baseman for the Highlanders. As mentioned, it's great to stay in touch with these guys all the way. Stay in touch with guys all the way back to Danny Lehman and David Macias, class 04, 05, class 06. Speaking of 06, get to that here in a second. That's lifted to right center or right field as Wilson reaches up and makes the catch for out number 2. Highlanders have scored 3 here in the 6th, taking a 4-2 lead. Johan Fernandez at the plate. Takes a fastball for a called strike. Lifted down the right field line and out of play. Takes the count to 0-2 on Fernandez. So I was saying, some of these kids from the 06 squad stay in touch with. 04, 05, few from the 09, 2011, all the way into the Braden Sharps from 23, and that's lifted into shallow center, and that's going to get down for a C&I lazy pop fly for Fernandez. He keeps the inning going. To the kids that graduated last year, Braden Sharp in 23. He's at Rice, having a great start to his career. He transferred from Tennessee.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Cash McCorder.
Kyle Hubert, center fielder, graduated in 24. He headed to Salt Lake. He was part of the championship team that brought home the JUCO World Series last year. Cash McCorder back at the plate for the 4th time. He doubled, flew out to center, and grounded to the first baseman, Francia. 1 for 3 on the night. The pitch He beats it into the ground. Second baseman Sanchez on it. Flips to first in time. McWhorter retired for out number 3. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th. Highlanders leading 4-2 here as dusk is upon us. You're watching Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And coming back to you here in the bottom of the 6th as the Highlanders pushed 3 across last inning to regain the lead at 4-2. We have a pitching change. Clayton's day is done. And Xavier Gregg comes out of the bullpen for the Highlanders here in the 6th. So I was mentioning a lot of great things going on. Coach Eastman has entered his 26th season here in the year 26. And number 26 is on the mound, kind of ironic, as he's going through his warm-ups. And on top of all that, this is the 20th anniversary of that team from 2006. That was the national championship team, 1 loss. The names on that team, the Mickey Armstrongs, Taylor Grody, and Kyle Drabek, and the National League MVP, Paul Goldschmidt, was on that team. Remember, it was 38-1 or 39-1, somewhere in there. Awarded the national championship by Baseball America. State champions, national champions. This is the 20th anniversary of that squad. Most people, baseball folks around here will tell you, some of us old guys, that was probably one of the best teams from the state of Texas ever. And it was before the Woodlands split into 2 high schools. It was right around that time that College Park had started. I think they maybe had a freshman class or a sophomore class that year. And the Highlanders went on that run with that team and the names, and just a fantastic squad. This is a 20th celebration of that team. And the first pitch from Gregg misses for ball 1 to the designated hitter for the Grizzlies. This is Colin Martin. Takes another curveball in the dirt for ball 2. Two-nose count on Martin, designated hitter for the Grizzlies. Fastball misses outside. Trying to figure out why you got a little excited about on that. Three-nose count on Martin. Flew out to right field his last at bat, and there's a fastball in there for a called strike. That's why we need. And that is ripped down the left field line. McWhorter's not going to get to that one. One hops the fence. McWhorter gets there, gets it in, and that's going to be a leadoff stand-up. Oh, he took a slide. Give him the slide. Double for Martin.
Number 8, Andrew Clayton.
And that's going to bring up Andrew Clayton, the third baseman. And we'll have a courtesy runner or pinch runner. Looks like Coach Farrell's opting to go for some speed. That's a designated hitter, so this is actually a pinch runner.
Please, pinch runner at second for the Grizzlies, number 20, Aiden Prado. Prado, pinch runner at second.
So Aiden Prado is going to come into the game for Martin to run. And Andrew Clayton at the plate. Struck out in the fourth. He walked in the first. 0 for 2 on the night. No outs and a runner at second. Times called. Trying to take a look at the bullpen situation. Nothing in the Highlanders bullpen. And looks like we got one or two arms getting loose down in the Grizzlies pen. Fastball misses low. And that's hammered right at Diaz off the backhand. Caught him in the heel of the glove, and the top spin ate him up. So an error on the third baseman. Diaz puts runners on the corners. At least I'm calling that an error. I don't know if they're going to call it one, but that's a play in my book he should have made. So the Grizzlies, with no outs, have runners on the corners. Tying run is at second, or at third. I'm sorry, at first. Their scoreboard is a little different than mine. They say there's 2 outs, there's no outs. The pitch misses low for ball 1 to Owen Eastwood, the catcher for the Grizzlies. Flat out to center's last at bat. Swings over the top of that curveball for strike 1. Evens it up at 1-1. Playing for 2 up the middle. They'll take the run for the 2 outs. Foul tipped at the plate. Strike 2 on Eastwood. Can't help but think of Clint Eastwood and the movies and generations that man has produced in my lifetime. And that is lifted out to center. He's going to get the run in. Clayton reaches up, makes the catch. As Prado, who was pinch running for Martin, comes in to score. And that's going to make it a 4-3 ball game.
With 1 out in the inning. Now
with 1 out in the inning.
Number 5, Callum Wilson.
And a runner at first. So Callum Wilson, the right fielder, at the plate. He was hit by a pitch, his last at bat, and fastball misses away for ball 1. It's lifted down the left field line, giving chase. Diaz and Clayton bounces in between the two of them in foul territory for strike 1. Now with the outfielders that the Highlanders have out there right now, because it looks like Jack Fuller came out and Cash Clayton's out in center. So you have Cash McWhorter, Cash Clayton, and Bryson Bourne in the outfield. Just off the outside edge. Those three are all juniors. And all three of them could play center field. They have the speed. That's down the right field line. That's going to drop in front of Bourne. Does a great job to get to it. Makes a great throw to second. Closer than what it should have been. But a double by Wilson. And that's going to get Coach Eastman to come out. Only one out in the inning. It's only one out in the inning. As Coach Eastman heads out to the mound, and it looks like Xavier's day is done.
Your attention, please. Pitching change for the Highlanders. Now on the mound, number 23, Luke Sheeran.
So Luke Sheeran coming in out of the bullpen for the Highlanders, a senior. He was on last year's squad. But I was saying we'll stay here, talk a little baseball while he gets loose. We'll have a little Johnny Cash going for you in the background. Just because I'm on fire, baby. You know it. It's a beautiful thing. But that outfield out there for the Highlanders, Bryson Bourne, Cash Clayton, and Cash McWhorter, is hands down. Hands down. You got three guys that will probably be Division I players that can run to the day, to the sun goes down forever. The speed on the bases between those three. They have a lot of pop. Cash Clayton, your three-hole hitter. McWhorter, your one leadoff hitter. Just a phenomenal talent that's out there in that outfield. And they're all juniors. So just a lot to build on with that outfield. The strength, they can run balls down in the gap. You could probably play, Bryson can play shallow, play like a Jim Edmonds type of center field. Clayton with his speed can do the same. He has length. He's 6'4", 6'5". Can run like a mule deer. Just a lot of talent out there. You throw in Jack Schmeckel at shortstop, possible All-American, head of the University of Texas. And you throw in the catcher, Chase Bradley, behind the dish. I just don't really see a whole lot of weakness in this team on the defensive side. You've got Cruz Romo over at first, the brother of Drew Romo. He's already smashed the ball off the wall here today, swings it from the left side. This team has got a lot of talent if they can figure out the pitching here. And you got Schmeckel, probably undoubtedly hands down a number one, especially when district gets rolling. He'll be a regular starter on your Tuesdays and Fridays. And Coach Eastman, it's early in the season, trying to figure out who that number two, that number three guy is going to be and get them the innings. And then when the playoffs hit, you know, you're going to need that number three guy. You get into that third game situation, it's going to be quite the commodity. So one out here in the bottom of the sixth. The Grizzlies have runners at second and third now. With one out.
Prevent our scoreboard from changing the outs at the moment. There's still one out in the inning. We'll keep you updated.
And the second baseman, Braden Sanchez, steps to the plate with a chance to become a hero here in the sixth inning. Winning go-ahead run at second. The infield is in. A little slur sweeper pitch from Sheeran in there for a called strike. That's the way to start it. Come out of the bullpen, put a strike in there, get ahead in the count. One out here in the inning, second and third. Infield in. Curveball misses just off the inside corner for ball one. Evens it up at 1-1. That's swung on and fouled. Straight back here towards us in the booth. Into the screen for strike 2. Strikeout's big here. Up the middle, over the head of Jack Schmeckel. 1 run's going to score. And we have a tie ball game. Nice piece of hitting right there by Sanchez. Just took a nothing special, took a fastball and hit it right back up the middle. If the infield was at regular depth, it would have been an out. So an RBI single. And that puts runners at first and third with 1 out. As had my head down for a second and almost had ourselves a balk or a ball thrown out into the outfield. As Romo wasn't quite on the bag yet. And there's a fastball in there for a called strike. One out, tie ball game. Couldn't ask for a better game for a district opener here in 13-6A, and that is lifted to shallow left right at McWhorter. Makes the catch. Here comes. Not really sure what was happening there. I think there was some confusion on how many outs there were. McWhorter was not that deep. He was in shallow left and throws the ball to Schmeckel instead of taking that, lining up and taking that curl up and making a strong throw to the plate. Probably would have had a play at the runner. But the runner from first moves up to second. As time's called, Coach Farrell comes in. It looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter. As Brawley steps in for Thomas with 2 outs. As the Grizzlies have taken a 5-4 lead here in the 6th. And a fastball with a lot of movement from Sheeran. Caught him on the hands. I think that thing was coming at him as he was swinging. Didn't know what to do with it. For strike 1. 2 outs, runner at second. Highlanders trailing the Grizzlies by 1. It's 5-4. Curveball misses off the outside corner for ball 1. Evens it up at 1-1 on the pinch hitter Brawley for. He's hitting for Brody Thomas in the 9-hole. Time is called. Gives it to him late, but he got it. Got a good look at Sheeran's fastball right there. Nice little movement, tailing action on that. He's throwing a 2-seamer. Some great movement on that. Same pitch. That's lifted to left. McWhorter on it. Reaches up, makes the catch for the 3rd out. As they put 3 hits on the board, and the Grizzlies come back to take a 5-4 lead. As we head to the top of the 7th, Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. So here we are, top of the 7th. Highlanders trailing by 1. And it's going to be 2, 3, and 4 for the Highlanders. So definitely, if they're going to rally and come back and take the lead, these are the guys you want at the plate. That's going to be Schmeckel, Clayton, and Cruz Romo. Romo 1 for 2 on the night. Clayton 1 for 3. And Schmeckel 1 for 3. So if these guys can all get on and come around to score, the Highlanders will be in a good position. You want to, I would say, at least put 3 up, 4. Give yourself some cushion heading into the 7th. As the sun's setting, dusk is here. The nice pink and orangish colors across the skyline here. You can see that off into the background there on our video feed. Noah Lopez has come out of the bullpen for the Grizzlies to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Highlanders. Grizzlies 3 outs away from opening 13-6A district play with a win. Highlanders could be facing their first loss in 13-6A in 2 years. And that misses outside for ball 1 to Schmeckel. Curveball misses away.
And playing right field for the Grizzlies, number 30, Louis Zaccarelli. Zaccarelli playing right field.
Runs the count to 2-0 on Schmeckel, the Texas signee. Misses high, 3-0. Heading off to play for Coach Slosh. So you hear the Highlander dugout trying to get a rally going. And a 4-pitch walk for Jack Schmeckel.
Now batting number 7, Cash Clayton.
So the Highlanders have the tying run on. Cash Clayton at the plate. Your 3-hole hitter, it'd be interesting to see the strategy here. Do you bunt with your 3-hole hitter to put him over? Do you let him swing it early in the season, district game? And he lets him swing it. And he swings over the top of a curveball for strike 1. Schmeckel, not a big lead. Curveball misses in the dirt, gets away. And the pass ball is going to let Schmeckel move on up to second. Now the tying runs in scoring position with no outs. With a 1-1 count. Wind slowed down a little bit with the sun setting. Still blowing out. I'd say probably about maybe 8-10 mile an hour. Flags moving pretty good. It's straight out to left. If you can see them on our screen, they're just left of the scoreboard. And that is ripped. That's in the gap. That's going to tie the game. Clayton hits first, looks at the throw, comes into second, and that's going to be an RBI single for Cash Clayton. He ties the game at 5.
Now batting the first baseman, number 9, Cruz Romo.
And Coach Farrell out of the dugout. Have a word with his pitcher, Lopez, and he's going to pull him. And let's see how this goes. Get this for you. Johnson coming in for Lopez, righty.
Your attention, please. Pitching change for the Grizzlies. Now on the mound, number 19, Drew Johnson.
Drew Johnson
now pitching for the Grizzlies.
Coming in for the Grizzlies, a righty. Kind of give you a little scouting breakdown here. From the right side, low 3/4 delivery. That'll give him a little bit of movement on the fastball. It'll come out of that slot, especially on the two-seam. It's going to run in on the righties there. You see that right there. So it looks like a flat run. Doesn't look like there's any depth to it. So you take a look at that. See it right there. A little crossfire action on the low 3/4 slot. A little over rotation on the lower half. Got another fastball. Kind of get a look at what he's got. That same movement in on a righty. So hopefully these guys on deck are going to school. And they probably know him. They probably play with him in the summer. So we're going to have a runner at first for the Highlanders. Cash Clayton with the single. So we're tied at 5, top of 7, runner at first, Cash Clayton, and Cruz Romo is at the plate. So advantage Romo, righty-lefty. Chase Bradley on deck. As the umpire is trying to speed this thing up, they're running, I guess, through some communication there between the catcher Eastwood and the pitcher Johnson. So we're 1 for 2 on the night. Had the double off the wall and a walk. And way outside on the wild pitch. That's going to get Clayton to second. So now the go-ahead run at second base with no outs on the wild pitch. And ball 1 to Romo. Be a good spot right here to trade places. The pitch misses off the outside corner for ball 2. Almost hits him, gets away from the catcher. Now it's going to put Clayton at third with no outs and a 3-0 count on your cleanup hitter, Romo. Now, here we go. Hear me out. You got a 3-0 count, no outs, and a runner at third, and your cleanup hitter at the plate. Lefty, righty, what do the analytics tell you? Man, let him swing at this. If it's center cut, man, let him rip it, because he'll park this thing out into the trees that are left here. Shows bunt, and fastball just below the knees, misses for ball 4.
Now batting the catcher, number 3, Chase Bradley.
That's going to put runners on the corners for the Highlanders here in the 7th. No outs. One run across already to tie it at 5. So we're tied at 5. Couldn't ask for a better opener to 13-6A 2026 season. Bradley at the plate, shows bunt, pops it up in the air, and and Johnson almost collided, and that almost fell. Bradley pops it in the air, and that's out number 1 on the attempted sacrifice. I would say, let's take that back. I'm going to say attempted suicide or a safety squeeze would be mine, is how I would look at that. So that brings up Jurisic. He takes first pitch for a strike. Ooh, you hear the crowd groaning with me. That was a close. He checked it. Umpire called it a ball. Just off the outside corner, or was a little high, one of the two. Cash Clayton's at third. Romo's at first. Tie ball game. Top of 7. Jurisic with a double already today. And tried to yank that one out to the Grand Parkway. I think he tried to put that one back into the Woodlands. And he swings over the top for out number 2. And 2 outs in the inning now, with Bryson Bourne at the plate, with runners at first and third. Swing and miss at the inside fastball. That's strike 1 on the youngster. Bourne also a key member of the Highlander football program, wide receiver. Very talented athlete for the Highlanders. And off the end of the bat, up the middle, and he's going to try to race him to the bag, and he almost got beat, luckily for Johnson. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. We're tied at 5. Don't go anywhere, because you got yourself one heck of a game here at Grand Oaks High School. You're watching Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And welcome back to Grand Oaks High School. The district opener between the Highlanders and the Grizzlies has lived up to the billing. Usually these two teams are two of the four playoff teams, or at least they have been. Last year was the first year the Grizzlies missed out. I think they missed out by a game. Highlanders district champs last year, 16-0. Haven't lost a district game since 2024. And that's lifted to left field right at Cash McWhorter and makes the catch for out number one.
Now batting the first baseman,
one pitch,
16,
one out.
Hector Francia Linares.
That brings up Hector Francia, the first baseman. He's been hit by a pitch, flown out to left field. One out here in the seventh. Luke Sheeran still on the mound. And that's a fastball right there on the outer third for a called strike. Curveball gets around that one for ball one. Evens it up at 1-1. Tie ball game. Time called at the plate. We're all knotted up at 5 here, bottom of 7. And misses outside with the changeup for ball 2. Swung on and foul tip at the plate. Catches Bradley. He is down. And he is not sure if that caught him in the wrist or if that caught him, if what I heard was a cup check. The way he's moving around, I'm going to say a cup check. Those are not fun. These catchers are, these guys are made from just a different kind of person. The beating they take game in and game out, not including the summers and the fall ball that these guys go through. Banged up, bruised up. But this is one of those ones where the manhood has been, the sticks and berries are hurting. I don't know how much ice you put on those tonight. But hey, if your dad's listening, I got a cold plunge bath at the house, so you're more welcome to come on over, Chase. We can ease on into that thing tonight. I got that bad boy set at about 40 degrees. Setting that for 3 minutes and you'll be singing alto again. You're going to take a couple practice throws. Make sure we're okay. We're all good to go. Chase gives us the thumbs up. Two balls, two strikes is your count. One out here in the bottom of the 7th. Luke Sharon on the mound. And gets him to chase the curveball. Bounces in the dirt. Bradley down to first for the strikeout.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 24, Colin Martin.
And brings up the designated hitter, Colin Martin. Had a big double, came around to score. Or I take that back, the pinch runner did, but he got that run in with the double, kind of started that inning to get them to take the lead back in the 6th. See if he can get himself on base here in the 7th. Probably see a pinch runner again. Curveball misses. Down and in. For ball 1. Two outs in the inning, the count's 1-0. Colin Martin at the plate, the designated hitter. Luke Sharon on the mound. And on the ground to third baseman Diaz. On the run, makes the throw in plenty of time. And we're heading to extras. Free baseball here in the 13-6A opener for the Highlanders and the Grizzlies. We're tied at 5. You're watching Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? txhsbsb Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we're heading on into the top of the 8th, tied at 5 in this district opener between the Grand Oaks Grizzlies and your Highlanders. Highlanders struck first, put 1 on the board. It stayed at 1-0 until the 3rd. Or in the 3rd, the Highlanders put 1 up. Then in the 5th, the Grizzlies put 2 up and took a 2-1 lead. Highlanders came back and answered that with 3. It took a 4-2 lead. And then the Grizzlies did the same thing, put up 3 and took a 5-4 lead, and the Highlanders came back and tied it in the 7th. Sawyer Banks is pinch hitting. And he takes first pitch for a ball. So Banks is hitting for Elias Diaz, and he's up in the count 2-0. In a tie ball game in the 8th inning. Extras here, so some free baseball for you. And misses high and outside. Ball 3. This first game can just always set the tone for your district season. Misses, and A 4-pitch walk for Banks.
Number 12, Johan Fernandez.
And I'm sure we'll see a sacrifice bunt here. So Banks with the 4-pitch walk. And Coach Farrell out of the dugout again, going to the bullpen yet again. We'll get this pitching change for you.
Your attention, please. Pitching change for the Grizzlies. Now on the mound, number 33, Ben Garrett. Garrett now pitching for the Grizzlies.
So Ben Garrett comes in. And we'll take a look at this guy, break him down. About 6'5", a lot of length. Long-legged, high-waisted. Has a nice build to him. Three-quarters, high three-quarters on the delivery. Fastball seems pretty true out of his hand. So he's coming in with a runner at first. No outs. And Johan Fernandez will be at the plate when we're finished here. So again, Highlander Sports Network is a sister network of Houston Sports Live, and he just showed us a little bit of a slider there. Had some good tilt on it, or good depth on it. Looked a lot like his fastball with a sharp break to it. Kind of what you want out of your slider. There's another off-speed pitch. A little change up. A little dive in action to the righties. And Houston Sports Live, we have the coverage this season for just about every team in 13-6A. We'll have broadcasters in Conroe, College Park, Willis, Grand Oaks, and the Woodlands for you this season. You can jump on over to our YouTube channel, Houston Sports Live, catch all the action there. And this Friday, 5:30, we'll be at Willis for the first ever game day desk show, remotely hosted. Fans, audience, the vibe is going to be electric at Willis on Friday night. The weather's going to be fantastic. The crowds will be loud. We encourage you to come out, hang out. Our concept is just like what you see on College Game Day on ESPN on Saturdays. Come on out, bring your signs, bring your friends, have some fun. We welcome it. It's for you, it's for the players, it's for the fans, the parents, the community. Come one, come all. We'll be at a different location every week, and future dates will be announced as we progress through the 2026 13-6A district season. Johan Fernandez at the plate. I'm expecting a bunt. And there it is, pops it foul and out of play. For strike one. I'm sure you'll see a bunt here again. Got to get that runner over and get the top of the lineup on. And almost hits him for ball one. Evens it up at 1-1. No outs, 8th inning. We're tied at 5. Highlanders with a runner at first, trying to get him to second in scoring position. Fernandez at the plate. Here's a bunt. Oh, and it gets away from the catcher again. Which allows Banks to move on up to second on the wild pitch. Now, interesting, do you leave him there or try to get him to third? Top of the order is behind you. Cash McWhorter on deck. Shows bunt. Gets it down perfectly down to third base line. Nobody at third to throw to first. In time, the sacrifice is done by Fernandez. Moves the runner, Banks up to third with one out. Brings up the leadoff hitter, Cash McWhorter, for the Highlanders. McWhorter had an impressive sophomore season. Tremendous amounts of power from the left side. Youngster reminds me of he's even kind of built like Jay Bruce. Came out of Beaumont Westbrook in the early 2000s and takes a big rip at one down the left field line in foul territory. Clayton Segura give chase. Clayton reaches out behind him and makes a fantastic catch in foul territory for the second out of the inning. What a big play by that youngster for the second out. Brings up the senior Jack Schmeckel, heading to the University of Texas. Double, single, strikeout, fly out to right. 2 for 4 on the night. And curveball almost hits him. He jumps out of the way for ball 1. They got him shaded straight up. Swing and miss at the fastball. Evens it up at 1-1. Chance to give the Highlanders a lead. We're tied at 5. 8th inning. Wow, man, beautiful pitch. Just misses below the knees for ball 2. Misses with the changeup, low in the dirt. Takes it to 3-1. Nice little hitter's count here for Schmeckel. Be selective here, 3-1 pitch. Your spot, your pitch. And jump on it just like that, hammered. That's a sinking line drive, but a beautiful catch out there by Talley. That's one of the hardest plays in all of baseball for a center fielder, and he came up, flashed the glove, makes the play, and the Highlanders' threat is extinguished here in the 8th inning. On a hard hit ball, but a fantastic play by Talley out in center field. Keeps the game tied and gives the Grizzlies a chance to win it here in the 8th. We're tied at 5. Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. Sheeran back out for another inning of work here in this district opener between the Highlanders and the Grizzlies. We're tied at 5, bottom of the 8th.
of the 8th for the Grizzlies, the third baseman, number 8, Andrew Clayton.
Andrew Clayton, probably, I'm going to say right now, at this juncture in time with the play of the game on Cash McWhorter in the back in the top of the 8th as he tracked down the foul ball in foul territory. The wind was blowing it back, reaches back over his head and makes an acrobatic catch to keep for the second out, which allows the infield to back up, play deep, and right now I'm going to say that's a key turning point in this game for the Grizzlies, especially if they can come up big here with a hit, get some runners on base, and win this thing here in the 8th. He check swings, but it misses low. Ball 1 on the fastball from Sheeran to Andrew Clayton. Nice fastball with some run on it. Runs it in on the hands. Started it on the inner third. Ends up on his hands by the time he swings. Nothing you could do with that. That's going to even up at 1-1 on Andrew Clayton, third baseman for the Grizzlies. We're tied at 5. The 1-1 is a curveball. He drops it in there for a called strike. Beautiful pitch from Sheeran. Takes it to 1-2. That's ripped down the left field line, gets down in front of McWhorter. He gets there to cut it off. But a leadoff single for Clayton. That's going to bring up the catcher, Owen Eastwood, for the Grizzlies with no outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Again, you're going to see a bunt, get the runner over. All about execution early in the season. And fastball misses down and in for ball 1. Shows bunt, gets it down right back to Sheeran, takes the out at first. So the sacrifice is complete by Eastwood. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Callum Wilson. Moves the runner up to second with 1 out. See if the bottom of the order can come up big for Coach Farrell. So Wilson on deck, or Wilson at the plate, Sanchez on deck. Fastball down and in, misses for ball 1. Same pitch just about the same spot. I was a little closer to the plate. But it's ball 2. Runs count 2-0. 1 out, runner at second. That's the winning run. That fastball right there on the outside corner for a called strike. Runs it to 2-1. On Wilson, the right fielder for the Grizzlies. Misses on that inside corner again, trying to bury it on the inside. Runs it to 3-1. On the ground to second baseman Fernandez, the flip to first. Second out for the Highlanders. Moves the runner up to third. Brings up Braden Sanchez. Has a couple of singles on the night. Single gets it done here for the Grizzlies. Sheeran trying to get it to the 9th. Swung on and through the 6-hole, and that's going to be a winner for the Grizzlies. As Brandon Sanchez, with his 3rd single of the night, brings in the winning run, and the Grizzlies take game 1 by a score of 6-5 and take this district opener here at Grand Oaks High School. And we'll be back with a post-game wrap and a player of the game.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kacherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
Welcome back to the Highlander Sports Network post-game show. So just a quick rundown. Grizzlies take the first game of this 2-game series by a score of 6-5 here at Grand Oaks High School in extra innings. Again, as I had mentioned throughout the broadcast here in the last few innings, a great game to kick off the 2026 district season for Texas high school baseball has started here tonight. Grizzlies take this one 6-5. As far as player of the game for the Highlanders, I'm looking through the stat lines, and Cash Clayton had himself a heck of a game. He was 2 for 4 at the plate. Goes 5 innings for the Highlanders. Gives up 3 hits on 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 of those runs earned, no walks, and 4 strikeouts in 5 innings. So he gets it done for the Highlanders at the plate and on the mound, but not enough, as the Grizzlies were able to hold off the Highlanders, take this game 6-5. And as I was mentioning there towards the end, a key play by the third baseman, Andrew Clayton, with a runner at third and one out. Cash McWhorter pops out in left field in foul territory on a fantastic play by Andrew Clayton with the wind blowing, turns sideways, pirouettes, reaches up behind him, stabs it out of the air for the second out, holds the runner at third, and that gives the Grizzlies a chance to get the third out. They escape the inning. The Highlanders stranded the runner at third. And then Sanchez comes up with the big hit for the Grizzlies to give them the 6-5 win here at Grand Oaks High School. So future coverage, the Highlanders are heading up to Dallas, Fort Worth area this weekend as they're playing in the 5-Tool Festival Tournament. The Grizzlies are heading off to the Conroe Classic that they're hosting alongside with Conroe. They'll be playing here. They're hosting, Conroe's hosting, so a lot of baseball here in the area. You have Willis with the Lake Conroe tournament that's hosted between Lake Creek, Montgomery, and Willis. You have some fantastic teams in that tournament from the area. Willis, Tomball, Waller, Lake Creek, Magnolia West, Atascocita. The list goes on. If you get a chance to come on up to Willis on Friday night, we'll be hosting our first ever Houston Game Day show. Starts at 5:30. You can catch it on our sister channel, Houston Sports Live. We'll be there live. We're hoping we got a special guest that is planning to attend, hopefully attends. You'll love it. The fans come out, bring your signs, bring your friends. Let's have a good time. Let's talk some baseball. Let's bring the energy and cheer Willis on against Waller. We also have a schedule for Conroe. We have a broadcaster up there. I can get those details to you here in a little while. But Houston Sports Live, check us out on X. Check us out on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube at Houston Sports Live. Highlander Sports Network, our sister channel. That's me. We're aligned with Houston Sports Live now. It's fantastic. We're off. We're running. This is a new adventure for all of us involved, and we're excited to bring sports to you in a way that no one else ever has in the Houston area. Jump on board, hit that subscribe button, catch all the action live on Houston Sports Live's YouTube channel. We'll see you Friday night from Willis. I'll be hosting with my friend Jordan Smith. Like I said, we're lining up a special guest to join us. You're going to love it. Come on out. If you can't make it, catch us on YouTube. It's going to be great. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Grizzlies take this one 6-5. I will be back with the Highlanders on Tuesday at the Woodlands for Game 2 of this series against Grand Oaks. That game's your typical start time, 7 o'clock. Catch it live here on Highlander Sports Network. Thank you. God bless. Safe travels. Thanks for listening. We'll see you Tuesday.